The Crew Motorfest just did what Forza Horizon 5 could never. And at the same time, like, insanely improved the game. Let's jump into it. Now look, undeniably, Forza Horizon 5 is much more graphically impressive. I mean, like, technically impressive. When it comes to the feeling of the world, it looks, I guess you could say, closer to real life. Though, there's a lot of things that Forza Horizon 5 does, which people really don't like. The thing is, though, where the Crew Motorfest might not look as realistic, it is still impeccably graphically impressive, especially in the first person. The first person is just amazing in the Crew Motorfest. It feels so visceral, so good. And this game, I notice it sometimes when I'm filming, I'm just like, damn, you know what? The game looks good right now. It looks good. It's definitely more stylized. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and act like while living in the UK, the world has ever looked this bright. But it does feel just really graphically amazing for like for the festival vibe it's going for that away on holiday style. The car models have gone up insanely in quality, and the lighting and the shadows, and did I mention the first person with the extra wheel rotation and the materials? Because I do need to mention the first person again. Mirrors. The mirrors don't work. There used to be issues in the Crew 2, like the headlights not being very bright, and that was chalked up to an engine limitation, but that was fixed in the Crew Motorfest. Now we actually have headlights that really glow, and we even have, like, high beams. But the mirrors were another thing that seemed to be just an engine limitation, and look at that. That's horrid. That is really disgusting. I mean, just wretched. But let me show you a few clips. Clip number 1 is this clip here. Clip number 2 is this one right here. And then clip number 3 is in one of the chase events. And again, you see working mirrors. Finally! We did it, the Crew! We finally reached 2010 game development! Look, it's good. I appreciate it. It's good. It's still kind of funny, but it is good. I do appreciate that we finally have working mirrors. But I had to chuck in the, like, yay, we finally reached a thing games had ages ago. But when it comes to the feeling, the materials, the vibe of being in here, the 900-degree wheel rotation, and the adjusting wheel rotation based on which car you're in, and that carrying over to actually on wheel, where the car will change the wheel rotation amount based on which car you're in, as well as the cars in game move 1-to-1 with the wheel rotating. The smaller details, like the pedals actually, like the feet moving, the cars where stuff like hitting the handbrake actually hits the handbrake, and gearing actually moves the gear knob. The attention to detail animations, like the arm out the window, and there's one where you adjust the mirror, and then finally add on the working mirrors in the November update. The Crew Motorfest might genuinely be the best first-person cruising experience of any of the current open-world racing games. And I stand by that. Now, they specifically talked about this in the quality of life section in the showcase. There's another main thing we want to talk about. First of all, they actually show us the transition.
We can finally say it. Be careful. Objects in mirrors are closer than they appear.
With the funny haha of, what is it, Jurassic Park? I think. But this is what I want to talk about for the bulk of this video.
As a sneak peek, one of our exciting new features allows you to earn new prestige tickets by replaying and completing events in the custom mode. These prestige tickets will grant you access to previous summit rewards in a dedicated section of the shop.
Just like that. Just like that, the Crew Motorfest has just overtaken Forza Horizon 5 in one of the aspects Forza Horizon 5's audience complains about the most: the removal of FOMO. If you don't know, FOMO is the fear of missing out. That's content that is time-locked, that you cannot get outside of the time that content was added. Meaning, there's the whole craze built of, oh no, I missed it, and now I'm gonna have to wait or pay £1 billion to actually get it, or now I'm gonna have to play the game, or else I'll miss this car. I mean, they do it literally week to week in Forza with the seasonal. But in the Crew Motorfest, by the sounds of it, by going into playlists and playing them on the custom mode, so you have the actual playlist version, you have the main stage version, which is the current main stage going on, and you have the custom mode, which is essentially doing it in any car or spec or anything. So we're gonna have to wait for more details on this, because what do you mean just play it custom mode? But we do actually see it has its own section there. We never go to it, they never show us it, but it has its own section in the playlists, the custom mode, which it did not previously. What would be really, what's a cool car? What do I want to use for this one? I mean, we'll go with... So, by playing the custom mode, you'll be able to get prestige tickets, which will then let you, after doing races like this, playing a Donk v Lowrider event in Monster Truck, got a Monster Truck race that, you know what, I wish they had Monster Truck races in Motorfest, more of them. Monster Trucks are underrated in this game. The physics are really interestingly done, and especially on wheel, they feel like Monster Truck. But essentially, a new grinding system will get you prestige tickets, which then you can spend on the prestige store, which is what they showed here. New prestige tickets have arrived that allow you to exchange them to obtain special offers. To get special rewards that you've missed over seasons, obtain prestige tickets from your progression in the custom mode available in each playlist menu. So every playlist is going to get the custom mode. So this essentially adds, depending on how long the custom mode is as a gameplay feature, it adds that, well, 20-fold. That's insane. Now, what doesn't help us is there's a lot of information we're missing that we'll probably find out at some other point. One is, well, can you make an infinite amount? Can you keep playing and playing and playing and then, well, just get more and more and more? And two, how many do you get per event? Because that's really gonna help to know, well, what is this economy like? Because the cheapest is that Street 1 car. And then we've got a Street 2 car, 8K. But then we have other Street 2 cars at 10K. So is the economy just sort of whatever they think people like more? Because we've got an underglow valued more than engine sound. Do they really think people like underglows more than engine sounds? Another thing is that these engine sounds, one of these is definitely the iconic 2-day summit most exclusive engine sound in the game, the Redliner kit. Sounds pretty hype. We also do get to see that Season 1 and Season 2 are here, but we don't really know what the timing is like for these, because they don't scroll down. So we don't know if it's just Season 1 and 2, or if it keeps going, and are things gonna be in the store immediately? Because if it's only Season 1 and 2, that was just under a year ago. So I guess, would you get 1 year of exclusivity? Unless there is Season 3 and 4 there, at which point is it 0 exclusivity? We're gonna have to discuss that later. But first of all, another thing to mention is that I've heard this tire right here, this vanity tire, was apparently custom show. It wasn't Summit, it was custom show, which is a very good thing, because it means engine sounds like the Ultra Charger have a chance to come back. And that sounds pretty hype. We actually get it confirmed here, because as she scrolls down, we see that the engine kit is said to be the Redliner kit. But the thing is, Ivory Tower, you're kind of missing one. See, because these are the platinum rewards for the Summit. These aren't the only Summit cars during the Hoonigan update. See, if I head to this video right here, they're giving it away for free, Hypercar for Gold. We see that during the Hoonigan update, in the Year of the Dragon week, the gold reward is the Jaguar Concept Lunar Year Edition. And look, it may not be platinum, but it's still exclusive. Meaning, it's a car that was in the Summit from the Crew 2 that is for some reason now not buyable. Unlike the Magma Edition, which is a car in the Summit from the Crew 2, which is buyable. So if there's time, please fix. So now let's talk about this all. First of all, this is insanely unprecedented for a game that was like, you know, as far as very many people saw, going for the Forza style with the festival. They have completely outdone and done what Forza for some reason will never do, is delete FOMO. Delete exclusivity. It seems like overall the plan is to switch from FOMO, which the Crew 2 definitely had as well, to, I guess, the odd occasional paid content. That seems to be what the direction is get rid of limited time, get rid of need to be on the game at some time to do a thing, and switch it out for a proper system of being able to get everything in the game while actually attaching content to that method. We saw this first with the Mainstage Legacy, where they made Mainstage cars non-exclusive anymore, because they come back in the Mainstage Legacy where you can play 2 events from each summit extracted from that update, immortalizing the summits and the themes and the people in those collaborations and putting them into a feature to unlock that Mainstage car, as well as giving people a chance to drive the summit cars that went, but now also giving people the prestige ticket system, which was the only FOMO left, Summit, and giving people the ability to buy Summit cars. So nothing is left exclusive. We don't talk about the GP Explorer. But this is definitely a double-edged sword, because it kind of removes the point of getting stuff. I mean, you still have to do stuff to get them, right? So even with the main stage, you still have to actually do the main stage legacy to get the car that you missed, right? I mean, that grind is still there. It's way, way less than it was before, and I feel like the main stage legacy should have incorporated more of the main stage rather than just the summit for some reason. If anything, maybe, I don't know, the two should have been swapped around in some weird way. I don't know. The main stage legacy has its own criticisms and whatnot that I've talked about so much. But, so the people who had these cars before, they kind of have lost their exclusivity. The people who earned them in the summit, they've lost their exclusivity. That's why, personally, I kind of hope it is just, I mean, we saw up till Season 2. I hope it's, if anything, less. I'd understand if it was just Season 1, because then that would give people 1 year of owning a car that is exclusive, that is the platinum reward. Because I know I complain about this a whole bunch. They really are nuking the day-to-day. And look, I like the removal of FOMO. The removal of FOMO is good, but it definitely is destroying the day-to-day. It's just making it not worth it to do the summit, to do the main stage, when you can get I think the main stage should have as well had a delay of much, much longer. At the moment, the delay is, well, it's like, it's the update that just happened, right? But I guess that's just what they wanted to do with the main stage. It's not competitive. I hope they don't see it the same way for the summit, because the summit is competitive. People value having these summit cars over not. And I think a year is a whole lot of value. I think a year is a crisp, big chunk of value to be able to get out of actually playing the summit and getting platinum every single month, at least once. But what do you think? Are you annoyed that your platinum summit cars are not going to be rare anymore? Or are you someone who didn't get the platinum summit cars and is glad there's going to be a grinding way of getting them properly now without having to feel annoyed that you missed them time lock wise, right? I do hope, unlike the main stage legacy, they don't just start making the summits Crew 2 reruns. Because of the main stage legacy, because of the main stage, I hope we never, it would, I have to use this strong word. It's a strong word, I know. It would be embarrassing if we had a Crew 2 rerun as a summit car when every single main stage is now a Crew 2 rerun. And again, I get it, because the point of the main stage now and the Twitch drops is to bring back Crew 2 cars as purchasable for everyone. But that shouldn't mean that we get less as Motorfest players just because we played the Crew 2. I'm okay with the main stage legacy, the main stage doing that. It's just gonna get a whole lot out of hand if even the summit becomes that, especially if we're getting actual general car additions at the same rate we are. On the plus side, working mirrors, Not a single downside there. Not a single downside. You're not going to be annoyed that you don't have working mirrors, are you? So, it is absolutely brilliant that we finally have working mirrors. Because it's just been so long. It took them so long to get to this time, and I'm glad that they have. Clearly, the engine has been modified. Because if you don't know, the game engine for the Crew Motorfest, it's the Far Cry 2 engine. The Far Cry 2 engine. But to now finally have mirrors working and the clouds, which they talked about a bunch. Look, I like how the clouds work in this game. I really like them. They're underrated, if anything. If you fly up in a plane, the clouds make sense, and it's really cool. And that's something they did with the engine as well. The headlights working properly, and now the mirrors working properly. I will say, and it sucks to mention this, there's definitely still something left that is a massive blight on this game's quality. Massive. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. But for now, though, it is. Because look, the car models, the environment, the textures, the materials, the quality, the polish, all of that is really good now. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, if there's the next thing you're gonna work on, Ivory Tower, should be the traffic AIs. The traffic AIs are truly the last big, massive blight on this game's polish. They don't really work in the world. Like, just look at them. That is horrid. As far as I remember, someone mentioned that they're like watchdogs. Some of them are like watchdogs. Traffic AI, which a 2024 game, I know it released 2023, but it's being updated continuously to 2024 and longer. To have AI that looks like this, I mean, it just doesn't fly. And I don't mean this to be like, God, how stinky is this? Don't play Motorfest. I mean this to be like, bro, please fix this. Look at that. That's horrendous. That is horrid. That's disgusting. This is truly the last. And like, also, why is it so big? That is not at all the size of a car like that and what it should be. I know the Ford GT is a low car, but look, let me switch to a decently big car. Okay, I switched to a very big, but even still, what, the hood comes up to almost the same as an Escalade? The height of the car is like, I'd say barely a foot lower than an Escalade. Do you realize how big an Escalade is? They are so silly. The traffic AI is truly, unfortunately, look, I'm not just blindly shitting on it. I'm saying I would like this to be better. It is truly the biggest blight on the game's polish right now. Driving around, the game feels amazing. It feels quality. I'm not gonna bring up the pedestrian issue because that's an issue on licenses, but when it comes to the traffic, it's just horrid. Please. Please, hurry now, fix the traffic. All right, rant over. What do you think of the mirrors? What do you think of the buy-in Summit cars? Thank you to popular members, especially thanks to face members, and an insane thank you to star members. We don't have any. Become a star member, and an insane top of the top thank you to icon members, HK. I'll see you boys in the next one, and that's about it from me in a bit.